So moving on to the final segment, another new one. I don't think we've ever done power rankings before.
Uh,
Um,
no, not on open net at least. It's been a
eh,
little while since we've talked about these.
but yeah, we are going to be doing some power rankings. It is brought to you by the head honchos of it, the leadership. We got Crazy who does graphics. We got Desk Jockey, Pandy, and Midget. That guy somewhere. I think he's over that way. That
Oh,
way. There,
wait, there it
shout
is.
out that guy.
Where I
Shout out
think
that guy.
you're. Nope,
Wait,
you're up there. There it is.
it's always hard to figure this stuff out. Don't worry. We'll hear Zach's name later. But we will jump straight into it. This is it. We're doing the doubles alone this week. This is just purely doubles graphic for who we're showing the rankings of. So let's get that FL screen up. And this is brought to you by. This is who you're going to be yelling at. We didn't make these. I'm just kidding. Some of them made these. I didn't make these. So if you have anyone to yell at, it's going to be who I name. For FL, it was Bear, Wasabiaki, and Desk Jockey, who I already have an issue with because our doubles, the Bears double team went 4-1, and they're 7. What kind of nonsense is this?
I mean,
Uh,
hey, that's the point of the power rankings, right? It's
mhm.
opinions. It's people getting together talking about this stuff. Um, apparently some people like the other teams better than the Bears. I mean, the Bears are pretty stinky.
Yeah,
I'm not
they
gonna lie,
got to
Bears are
be the
Yeah.
stinky.
I
stinkiest
think
team
I,
by
I think I
far.
think a lot of people went into these power. I think when we were starting these power rankings for all the leagues, that we were not going to try to be more biased. We're going to try to be more realistic when it came to specific teams. If you went 10-0, but there was a team that statistically did better than you and played better, we would try to put that more into the mix and allow it to be more fair than record wise.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. We're here to stir controversy, start conversation, and get everything going, and get you all involved. You guys all have stuff to talk about. But to mention the things that stand out to me, Outlaws number 4. That's a team I said that's my sleeper team on, and I got to face them this week, so that's not fun for me. But hopefully we can fix this little number 7 for us.
Yeah, hey, you come out on top, you'll be hopefully ahead of those guys there. So
Hopefully. Then we got Zach's personal favorite, the Rhinos, down in the sleeper pick section. They got some work to cut out. They got some work cut out for themselves to carry themselves, lift themselves out of the trenches of sleeper picks. It could be worse. It could be worse. Could definitely be worse than 14. But it's definitely not an ideal place to be sitting at off the rip. But yeah, this is power rankings. This is all the FL teams. If you like I said, you have any arguments, take it up with the other guys, not with me. I don't have any say in this.
hey, to show non-biased things, Wasabi on the power rankings for FL, he put his team 14th here. He put his team pretty low.
It's
He
got to
was
be
being
rough.
being honest about it, but it's a team that can bounce back. He's done a great job building that team and getting those guys together and playing a lot together. It's been a lot of fun to watch, but you know
Yeah.
uh, that's the nature of power rankings. Like it's going to be a fun time talking about all these.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, him at 14. There is teams below it. Obviously, we can't fit every single team onto a graphic, or else it'd be the biggest graphic of all time. But there will be a published list after the show. You can find that in one of the channels in our Discord. But yeah, you can find that there. But yeah, this is the FL. This is obviously doubles. So the Rhinos are doing a lot better than threes. They had a 4-1 and 3. So obviously, it changes based off their which what is it called? The game mode? Game mode
Yeah,
that
game
they
mode.
it
Yep.
changes based off the game mode that they are playing. So yeah, this is for FL. We can wrap this up and move it along to AL power rankings. Their double sheet.
Yeah, moving
Um,
on to AL here. You know, I got the pleasure of making some picks here for the AL squad. I got to run it, a little bit with Matt Damon and Crazy this week. We had a great time talking about our picks and arguing with each other. Matt Damon blamed me for everything he did wrong or what he thought he did wrong. So I'll take the L there. Um, but choose this week. I mean, the top five, top six teams are just like really top six. You can't go wrong with any of those. I mean, there's going to
all
be a
interchangeable.
slugfest up top there. So, be really cool to see that. So,
And so it's good about those close things that like the team at 6 who thinks they could be number 1, they're gonna be arguing. They got a chip on their shoulder. They got something to prove.
yeah, I mean, hey, they proved it on stream. They only got to number six. You know, prove it again this week. Be up there higher. But got some good sleeper picks in there with the Express, the Aviator, and the Tyrants. The Tyrants all the way down at 29, but they just lost this week. They lost a
They
lot, but
they can
they
bounce
can
back.
they can bounce back. They got a great roster over there. I think that was crazy that picked the Tyrants. Like, that he believes that roster is going to be good. I picked the Aviators. I talked about Term and his building earlier. Like, that team's going to be something to mess with, all season long. So we'll see where these teams end up next week.
Yeah, it's good that though 29, they're still in the sleeper pick section. It's only week one, so they got plenty of time to work their ways back up. So hopefully you can see them in the you see single digits maybe one day.
Yeah, could be, could be.
Any other AL teams you'd like to talk about here?
I mean, I see DK saying, that they're at second.
Nah, who cares about
Come
DK
on,
wants?
come on. It's the
Who cares
elite.
about
They
D-
can't be first.
can't exactly can't be got inflating DK's head and giving them number one. Last thing we need. Last thing we need. But yeah, that wraps it up for AL conversation. We can move along over to the CL power rankings list. A lot of teams.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about the Blizzard earlier up top there. Um, they're just crazy good in twos. But the Knights, 5-0, 5-0 in the three spot. Like, let's see these teams, slug it out up top. I said that for the last one too, but that's what these are about. Getting these teams competitive, playing against each other, and really pushing your team harder and faster and better, stronger. All those things. Um, and some great, sleeper picks down there, the Wizard, the Hive, and the Shadow. Like, those are all teams that could, hop up there any week, any given week. Like, CL is a tough division. People are getting good. They're trying to get up to ML. They'll make it there if they can get in the top 10 here.
Yeah, I've seen. I think when it starts to get to CL and ML, that like the spaces for teams wanting to get in specific spots, like number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 in power rankings, or even the top 5, it starts to get very, very competitive as like the weeks go on. So with half of these sleeper picks and all these teams here, like all 10 of these teams are really good teams by stat sheet and by record. So if any of the other teams that are out of the top 10 want to get in, they're going to have to fight for those spots and fight for the top 10 in power rankings.
Yeah. And again, this is CL. So if you have any arguments on this, who you're going to take it up with? You got Schnoz, Ruben Sandwich, and Kreger32. These are all the lovely people that helped put together this list. I'm going to trust. We are going to trust their opinion, but we can also argue with them because it's their opinion. We all got our opinions. We can share them. Maybe don't
Speaking of
directly.
sharing your opinions,
Don't
if
directly.
anybody wants to help out with this, reach out to any of us. We're definitely looking for more people to join the team. So let us know if you're interested.
Yeah. We're always taking people on at all positions of this stuff. So don't be afraid to reach out. There's plenty of links, plenty of resources. Get on over here. We're welcome people. Don't let just because we have Zach over here doesn't mean we're scary people. He's an exception. Uh, we let that side. Is that all you got for CL?
That's all I got.
All right, we can move this list over onto ML, who is covered by Jarhead, Zach V, that guy we talk about a lot, and Broski Jazz. They cover the ML list. Take it away, Zach.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, when we did our ML list, ML is very, the top 10 teams, all of them basically went either 5-0 or 4-1. But most of the teams that are above each other, we kind of went more a little statistic wise when the teams matched up with each other. When we put our layout of the top 10 teams, me, Jarhead, and Broski, we were all even on which picks we wanted, who we wanted. As we said, the Blizzards. The Blizzards are number one, obviously. Me, Broski, and Jarhead, we all came to the agreement. Even as Jarhead is on the team, we all came to the agreement that Blizzards were the number one team. They came in, they shut the Lightnings out, as I said earlier, and they shut them out and kind of shut them out in threes. The Ducks too. Ducks with amazing players did the same thing. They went 9-1. Outlaws, Puffins, Hurricanes, very good teams. We really haven't talked about the Puffins at all, when we came to Emma, but the Puffins 8-2. No, actually, 8-2. Very good way to start off the season. So, sleeper picks, the demos, my team. I do believe my team could make it back into the top 10. We did have a rough start in threes, but In twos, we seem to find our way. We found our way a little bit. We didn't finish the game off, but we'll look to bounce back. Especially my second favorite team, the Rhinos. They had a little bit of a rough start, and they're looking to climb their way back in. And the Bears, especially, ran by the famous Zach. Um, the Bears have a really good ML team, and most teams that are really good have to find their ways. So, yeah, I mean, ML, this is what it is. If you have a problem, you take it to Jarhead and Broski, not me. And yeah,
Immediately shifting blame. Immediately. We don't blame. Yeah, you don't want to hear it from people. But guess what? He made the decisions too. So you can give it to him
Yeah,
too.
I will say, with those guys, those three talking, I listened in on their conversation, and it was so interesting hearing all of them talk about each team, where they think they have them, and going through those differences, and really coming out with a strong formulation of a true power ranking together. Hats off to you guys. You guys crushed it.
yeah, we tried to stick away from the bias a little bit. We tried to make it as fair as possible when it came to specific teams, and we felt as these 10 teams were the best 10 teams right now in doubles in Master League. So props to Broski and Broski Jazz and Jarhead. They really that night they came out. We spent an hour and we got it done. So proud of the three of us.
Yeah,
Hey,
great job.
good job. All right. That should be wrapping up for ML, I believe. And we can move our way on to PL, who was done by Andy and Just Tuck.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean,
I mean, just as we said before, I mean, they're in their own island. Obviously
literally.
the Lightnings are number one. They went crazy in twos. Threes especially. They went out and performed not as well, but they still performed decent enough. Rhinos, in my opinion, I would probably put the Rhinos at number one. Not because I like them. I just think statistically wise, I think they were really good. But this top five right here made by who made it again? If you don't mind telling me.
Just Tuck and Pandy.
Yeah, it's them two. Them two probably. Well, actually, them two. Yeah, them two. Let alone they made this really perfect. I think this top five is perfect. Tops of them.
yeah.
Yeah, I've spoken to Pandy over the past week, and he is someone that takes this very seriously. He's full of ideas. That guy's brain is running ideas all day, every day. But yeah, I trust his opinion a lot. Obviously, these people do the car soccer way better than I ever could, so I'm gonna trust that he knows more than I do.
Yeah, they definitely they nailed this. They spent a lot of time talking about this too. I know they were talking every day, as games were going on about the results, and really interested in how the league as a whole was doing. So, hats off to them. Like, they spent a lot of time, discussing this. So great to see that, and two guys that really, keyed in on their league too. So, they have great things to say about everybody. So really cool.
Yeah, Pandy and Just Tug, very two great PL players too. Both of them. Whenever I hear them talk about PL, they're very descriptive and they're very on top of PL, just like you said, midget. So I just got to say they are probably the two people that I really really appreciate when it comes to picking the power rankings for PL.
Mhm. All right, that should wrap it up for Power Rankings. Again, I would like to thank everyone on the Power Rankings committee for doing this and putting us together. I know this is like a really big segment. A lot of things, a lot of people have asked for. Power Rankings is a huge thing, and it's great that we get this segment to talk about every week. Again, this was only twos, and if you didn't see your team name, because it's a big list, so you can go find it in the general server, and you could find the full list on PR Power Rankings, and you can find your team in the doubles. And just because we only showed doubles, we're only doing it week by week. We're doing doubles one week and then threes.
Standard
That's how it's pronounced.
threes.
Threes next week.
Yeah.
Standard,
It'll be
standard.
posted. Yeah, standard. That's what it's called. I know there's a name for it, but it'll be posted after the show. All the links to all the lists will be posted after the show. But you'll be able to see a threes list too. It'll be out there. Just because you didn't show it doesn't mean it's not there. But if you are interested in joining the power ranking team yourself, you can DM our OpenNet guy, Sky Guy. There you go, find him. You go bother him. If you want to join,
Yeah,
we're opening with welcome arms. Just make sure you bother Sky Guy.
yeah.
He
Just
DMs are
spam him. Eventually he'll answer, but just keep typing Sky Guy, Sky Guy, Sky Guy.
I mean, I
Yeah.
wasn't gonna go that far, but I mean, he already said it, so can't take it back now. Good luck, Sky Guy, with all of your messages, because I know everyone's
Yeah.
gonna be so happy to join on. But yeah, thank you to everyone for helping form the Power Rankings team. It's something we look forward to doing.
Yeah, I just
Um,
want to give a little extra shout out to something here on that link. When we post that link, little surprise we got for everybody. It's still in the works, but it is attached to the website, to MLE.com or .org, whatever it may be. But we're looking to, ramp up our ideas over there, and we actually have a franchise power ranking attached to that too. So I'm sure that's something we'll talk about more as it develops. But we are ranking franchises across all modes, how they're doing all together as one, and seeing which franchises are showing up on top. So that's over there too. Check that out. Some really cool info there, and it's going to keep growing, keep getting better.
Some great insight. Is very spicy. Franchise power rankings. That's gonna get very spicy. I know
Yeah.
some teams, they have like one or two teams are doing good, and then the other teams, like last year's Hurricanes, I think they had like 4 finals appearances. They're dominant. They're dominant. They deserve those. Their flowers. So, but yeah, that was the power rankings, and thank you guys for giving us that. But that should be wrapping it up for the show. Week 1 in the bag. We finally finished it. We got through it. Now we got, I don't even know how many weeks of Rocket League we got ahead of us, but there's tons of weeks of Rocket League ahead of us. But tons of stuff's going to change. Just because you said who's good today doesn't mean that's going to be who's good at the end of the season. Rank outs are going to happen. Changes are going to happen. Maybe players fall off. Anything can happen. It's a wild place out here. It's car soccer. This is Rocket League. But any final thoughts from either of you?
I mean, just a lot of information this week. It was a crazy week 1. Like, it's not Sprocket's fault,
Don't forget.
but
Don't forget.
that's what we got week 1, and it was a lot of fun putting this all together. Thanks everybody for coming out and listening to us talk, but this was a blast.
Yeah, I think it's just week 1. Everybody, teams that didn't do very good, don't hold it on yourself. You'll bounce back. I've seen a lot of teams bounce back from a 0-10 start, and it's just the beginning of the season. And yeah, it wasn't Sprocket's fault, and I cannot tell you how many times I've gone into VCs and heard people say, "Hey, what's my Sprocket rating? Am I gonna go up in salary? Am I gonna just on and on and on and on?" But as the weeks go on, I feel like the weeks get better. So every week that comes out, something new is gonna happen. Some crazy clip is gonna come in, and I think that's what we were waiting for at the beginning of the season when we got back into this whole long weeks ahead. So I'm very excited for the rest of the weeks, and yeah.
All right, that should do it for the show. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Another show in the books. We got week 2 ahead of us. Be sure to tune in next week. Thank you all for coming out. Have a good one.
Sports, baby.